What is up? What is up? You already know who it be. It is your girl, Queen of Fire with Nerdy Dreams. How y'all be today, baby? Oh my goodness. So it's another day. It's another day. It's another day. It's another day. I just made another dollar. It's another day and a bitch made a dollar. Holla! Anyway, so actually tonight, y'all, I have a deep conversation for y'all tonight, and I cannot be up so late because I have to go re-register for school so that way I can finish up my psychology degree and move on, and we can have these very, 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 very beautiful moments right now. But anyway, so I'm really laughing and stalling right now because I am actually, this is my fault. I created this mess, and I started to see that actually I created this mess for a minute, and I did not know that your own feelings can actually, we're gonna get into it, but you guys, you know what it is when I say it's your energy. You use it how you want to use it, when you want to use it, who you allow to absorb it from you, and who you allow around your energy. You feel me? So anyways, as you notice, if you do follow my Instagram or my Twitter, I have been on the blame of shame human traits. And the reason why I have brought this human trait up is because one thing that we all learned this year, I have been hearing since 2020 actually. The number one thing I have been hearing is let me take that back. Number 2, own up to your wrongdoings and acknowledge your demons and your wrongs and your rights. Basically, maybe the same acknowledgement to you guys, but it's actually interpreted in 2 different things. And what I mean by ownership means it is okay to own up to your wrongdoing, but also acknowledge everything else that you're doing as well too. Because sometimes, a lot of times, we do find ourselves where we can, vent to people, and the venting may be looked in a different vision, but your vent, it may not be the way that your vent may not be interpreted correctly the way you're venting it out, because there's so many emotions going on at that moment that you're trying to release everything. Or you could be like me, the person who don't have anybody to talk to, and when you finally do get on the subject that you've been waiting to talk about, it's like everything just come rambling out your mouth. And it's like you made it seem like it was just one horrific situation, but when in reality, this is stuff that's been going on over years, time consuming. And it's like, wait a minute, these are things that you have actually learned from and grew from. And it's like, why are you redoing this information? Why are you I can't even get the word out of my mouth. I really can't. I don't even know why I can't talk. You know what? I think I know why. But anyways, so yeah. It is a lot of things that we do talk about sometimes, a lot of things that we do go through, we need to speak it out. Even if you're speaking to yourself, you need to get that off your chest. So that way, when you are speaking about it or you're speaking upon it, you're releasing those emotions that come behind it, because some emotions that we do release when we're talking may not be the right emotion that's needed to be added up to the words that you're trying to get out your mouth, because some actions may not add up right to the words. A lot of time it does, right? Right. Just like a lot of times we hear a lot of serial killers say, well, I would like for you to forgive me, even though I just took somebody from your life, but still forgive me. No. I mean, a lot of us can say no, a lot of us can say yes, it is what it is. But at the same time, there's a lot of situations out there that can have you okay, look, I need to step back, breathe, and see what I'm doing to cause these actions. Like I said, your energy is your energy. But who you allow around your energy, who you let absorb your energy, that's on you. Big time. It's on you. Hands up, hands down. I don't care. Hands to the side, hands to the left. I don't care. It's your fault. Now, the one thing that I was doing, especially in my early age, I was too busy trying to nitpick and see why things were going wrong my way. Going wrong in my life. Friendships falling apart. This falling apart. Da-da-da-da. Why are my friends being, friends with my boyfriend and not me? Da-da-da-da. This, that, and the other. Well, in reality, Wouldn't you be friends with somebody that, somebody's always bashing, then all of a sudden you start to be their friend and realize that either they're a cool person or either the person was right? That's where that acknowledgement comes from. Well, I don't listen to other people about somebody. I always go, find out myself, and then I can see if the two combined or not. And see, that's another thing too. Like, a lot of times, my bad, y'all. I just see two people backing up and pulling back, backing up and pulling back at a red light. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to be part of this trend. But anyway, so yeah. So, prime example. I have had two people blame their relationships, how it falls, or blame me for them to be losing themselves in their relationships. They blame me. Now, I'm not taking no responsibilities of anybody's choices and anybody's decisions they make in life, but I will, control what I can do about my decisions and my choices in life, whatever. Now, like I said, I've been blamed twice. The first time I was blamed that, if it wasn't for me introducing the person to this person, they would have never, created with him. And that was my first blame, which is not my blame, because I didn't put a gun to your head and tell you, to do whatever it is. Now, and I'm being blamed because they were introduced to each other. It is like, well, you had the choice, but you shouldn't have said. Technically, do not say what you're going to say then. Don't say, oh my God, he's fine, girl, hook me up. Don't say shit like that. Because in a friend's world, it's like, girl, you really mean that? You really want to get hooked up with him? Because I'm not saying it's a sarcastic way. It's like, oh, you really attracted to him for what? Not saying it like that. It's like, oh, okay. Because maybe you have judged me for the people that I've dated, and it's like, you're dating, it can be, it's just, how girls do. Like, but you want to talk about the men I date, but look at the men that you date. That's how I took it. But then when you start to blame me because all the downfalls in your life or whatever, that has nothing to do with me. If I wanted to, I could do the same, but I choose not to. And I even tell my parents this too when making decisions or whatever the case may be. I may spaz out for the moment, but I do come back and I, let them know what was going on. And it's like, at this point, I can't find it to, blame you for anything at this point, because after 18, it's up to me at this point. It's even my mom. I've actually seen people do that to my mom too, but the other one was the same thing, just about. I'm not going to tell what mom's been blamed for, but I got more for me. But anywho, this next person is very close to me. For them to say what they said to me, it was kind of like, wow, you're really making it seem like I told you to let go of this person. It's like everybody wants to blame somebody due to the fact that they've been shamed. Or somebody wants to blame somebody due to the fact that they have brought shame upon themselves. I brought shame upon myself, but that's not mean I'm going to go out here and continuously to bash other people. Now, since I have brought shame upon myself, what I'm going to do is actually step back and see, why am I tripping so much to bring so much shame to myself? Because, girl, you should be ashamed of all those marks that you got on your knees because you've been tripping too much. So now, I got to go back and figure out what's causing me to trip. And it seems like to me it's my own foot. Because sometimes we don't notice that. Sometimes our feet do trip us up sometimes. And that's what happens. But when it comes to you being ashamed, don't blame. Don't be so quick. Like, okay, yeah, I was younger. Of course, younger. If you're being abused or whatever, you're going to blame the people around you. That's a different situation. But as you get older, you're going to be like, oh, well, when you start to hear people be like, who taught you that? Or who raised you? Things like that is actually, it's your fault. If you hear phrases like that, like, who raised you? Who allows you to do things like that? That right there is when it comes. That's when it's like, okay, it's all on you. Hey, it's you. It is you, clearly as day. It's you. Because you can change from your trauma, and you can change from your mindset from how it used to be. You can stop being bitter and just feel better. How about that? Hey, I mean, it is what it is. It's how you. It just boils down onto you and how you gonna deal with your shame. Because we all got shame. Hell, some of us just act like we're so grand and high and mighty that we forgot our shames, or it's so embedded back into the back of your tongue that it will not flow off your tongue until the day you die. And that's just you. Because some things I found out too, like curiosity always kills the cat, right? But it doesn't. Curiosity actually helped the cat collect 9 more lives. Just to be real with you. Because it is just a lot of curiosity out here in this world. These emotions, these mentalities, and this blaming and this shaming people. Like, no, I'm not going to shame nobody because I hate to be shamed. I hate to be judged. I just dislike all of that, right? But the moral is, for me, with all the blaming people because of your shame, the number one thing that blows my mind is this, and this is what I had to ask myself. Like, this is what really made me just sit back and be like, okay, DeAndre, you gotta chill out with all this blaming for your shame and all this shaming yourself for other people's blames or whatever the case may be. You gotta stop this crap because it's not, it's really making you look crazy and cringy. Because even this past weekend, like I said, the one person that even threw it in my face, it made me feel so cringy. Because at the time, it's like, yo, at that time, that was a whole different DeAndre. And I want everybody to stop confusing me with the old DeAndre, because y'all don't know this DeAndre. Y'all have not even introduced yourself to this new DeAndre. Y'all just going off of what you know about me or past situation just because you haven't been seeing me out here, whatever the case may be. You don't know me, and that's cool. You allow yourself to agree with that you don't know me, and it's Gucci. It's Gucci. You ain't gotta know my growth. Certain people do know my growth. Certain people have seen my growth. Certain people truly do see my growth. The other little fake growth everybody else be talking about, y'all don't see my growth, because at the end of the day, y'all still comparing me. Or y'all still pulling up or thinking that, oh, she finna act like how she... Girl, you don't know me. If I hear that face, oh, she finna, oh, she finna, oh, he finna, man, they don't know you. They don't. Because the real person that do know me, oh, here she go. Here she go. That lets me know that you know me, because you know I'm finna pop out. But if you do want to, here she goes, she finna, dude, you don't know me. So don't be making like comments about my soul and my energy when you don't know me. Get that? Now you see where I'm coming from with the blaming and the shaming stuff? Because right at the end of the day, it's over with. It's old. It's old as ever. Like I said, I found myself about to do that same junk until my friend, we was out Friday and, just venting, just talking, having girls talk. You know what best friends do, talk about anything and everything. I don't even care if it's like, girl, I found a mole on my poom poom. I don't even know where the mole came from, but the mole just popped up on my poom poom. But that does not mean that's what we be talking about. But anyways, the conversation was on a deeper level. But after I had the conversation, my friend just kept screaming at me. Even though she's listening to what I'm saying, she's like, girl, you hangry, you hangry, you hangry. Oh my God, you're so hangry. You just hangry today. And in reality, after like everything that's been going on this weekend, Sunday sitting down, relaxing, chilling, and actually like getting down to myself, I was starting to realize that, you know what? I was hangry that day. I was really hangry. Because my best friend was being so like, y'all, I was so hangry to the point where like, I was just venting for no reason. I'm angry for no reason. And I'm just like, what is it? I'm nitpicking for no reason at my own self. And it's like, you know what? Some of the stuff that's coming out my mouth ain't making no sense. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what, Deandra? Go back, deposit your $200, and I mean, you gotta go all the way back. And then when you come back around, maybe we'll give you $400. You better hope that you act right this time when you pass go. Because this time when you pass go, you gotta get that jackpot and not be a jack butthole. Because I really did find myself being a butthole. Even like after like leaving my mom's house or whatever, I was kind of icky and yangy. And that's why I was just like, I gotta go home. If you ever hear me say I need to go home, let me go the fuck home. Like, for real. I'm gonna say this other piece for real tech in the morning. Yeah, there you go. But yes, my bad, y'all. I didn't mean to pause that long. Let's see where we at. Anyways, I be talking too much when I be doing my podcast, but I love the live thing. I love giving y'all the realness and what's been going on in my head real quick. But anyways, like I was saying, the whole blaming and shaming thing, like, I have been there, and I've also done it back to other people, and it's like, yo, we need to, like, chill out on this blaming and shaming and stuff, because, like, sometimes a lot of the things that we find ourselves in is like, dude, you put yourself in there. Like, I really had to look at myself, and I was like, yo, D, after this weekend, I have realized I put myself in there. Because what I have done was, instead of letting people take upon their feelings, like their shame, for instance, like we're talking about, instead of people taking their shame upon their self, I like to be that person that likes to coddle you to understand your shame. So I may throw myself underneath the bus to make you feel good, but in a way, it's like you should, in reality, you should look at me like, bitch, that's not what you did. Stop lying, and be like, okay, and you know, that's not really a good thing. So I had to really look at myself, and what I did this weekend, when that junk happened, I'm not really going to get into too much detail. And if you do want a little bit more detail, please go on to Reddit. Look up Queen of Fire with Nerdy Dreams, and you will see my little community. And on that community, as of today, I think it was. Y'all know I'm discombobulated because my time just changed and I get off at 1:30. So even on my paperwork, I know it's discombobulated. But yes, on Reddit, I did post a long paragraph about this, what actually went on, because seeing how, if I was to speak about it right now, I really can't get into it too deep, because y'all, I really have to get up early in the morning, like get my little 4 hours in, then turn back around and then get up here to Greenville Deck. So yeah. But anyway, so I really had to look at myself this weekend and be like, okay, girl, you've been doing that to yourself. This is why people feel like they can just say whatever they want to say about you, because look what you do. Stop sacrificing yourself. Like, dead serious. I would no longer do that just so somebody else can have somebody can have somebody to blame, or somebody can not feel alone with their shame. Because I've even allowed that friend, the first story where the friend blamed me for their relationship, I even allowed them to blame me. And I was young, and you know, when your friends are hurt at that moment, I was just hurt for her, because like, that's not how we seen our lives going. And for me, it was kind of like I really did mess up, because so much of my childhood, I felt like I was the messed up person. But in reality, I wasn't the messed up person. I am the cool friend. I am the nice friend. It's just that I'm so nice, and people think that I'm gullible and naive. Well, at the time, I was gullible and naive. It was to the point where it's like you could throw anything on me. But now that I've gotten older and I start to see that junk, and it smacked me back in my face again, it's like, you know what? We ain't doing this. Because at first I did think I had control over it. But there's still deeper situations people can throw you in without you even realizing it. Without you even realizing it, your name can be thrown in so many freaking situations to the point where you're like, wait a minute, I didn't agree to any of this. My name wasn't signed on no dotted line. I don't remember getting this notarized. I don't remember none of this. But y'all keep doing this to me. And it was like, after that, I was like, you know what? I ain't doing this to I really had to look at myself in the mirror, look myself in my eyes, and tell myself, you ain't doing this no more. We're not doing this no more. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself? For what? Like, what type of, like, what do you get out of this? You get nothing out of this. So I truly had to look at myself, and I was just like, you know what? You're really not getting nothing out of this, but probably a heart attack because you're stressing yourself out. Not only that, look how people talk to you. And it's like, you know what? I'm over that junk. Like, no longer. Like, it's just so cringy. It's like, okay. And I even had to, like, realize this, too. Like, for real. Military background, military family, you know. Not everybody was raised in that perfect military family where, you know, everybody's understood. No. Restriction. Some people were born in that military restriction of control freaks. And that's what I have realized, that that's all I have around me is huge control freaks. Because number one thing I've heard a lot when people say, oh, I went to the military, is that they went to the military for structure, for control, to be in demand, dominated, or something like that. Control, basically. Superior. It is like, these are the same people who didn't see their signs in the beginning, but now all of a sudden they do. Nope. I said, nope. I'm not saying I'm going to leave this perfect line, this perfect lifeline, or whatever it is that you want to call it, but I am going to live my lifeline, and that's just what it is. So there are some tweaks that I would like to change about myself, and that's okay. I like admitting my wrongs, my flaws. I like admitting my happiness, my joys. Especially, it took me a long time to admit that part. Because it was like, I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person. I'm not a gullible. You know, I'm not jolly and all this junk. But then I was like, hold up. Yes, the hell you are, girl. Your name is Deandra. Like, girl, you better stop that. Don't play like that. Do not play like that. So I really had to sit back like, girl, that's not you. You know who you are. Like, why are you doing this? And I really don't even understand why. No, I do understand what happened. Reality check. You know what the reality check was? Life. Life. Life, 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 and life. The reality check really of life with the whole blaming and shaming thing was realizing when you're older, your parents now, some people's parents, I'm not saying everybody's parents, but some people's parents have this vindictive feeling towards their children they've been waiting to release for the longest. And it's cool, because don't get upset when karma comes back. it sits right next to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't get upset. So, yes. I had to really sit back and realize that, okay, certain things that I have done, like when I'm venting about people, but I love them, but this certain stuff hurts. And I had to realize the person that I was venting to is not the only person that I can vent. Truly, it's not the person I can vent to, because the true person that I can vent to is not even that title, that the person that I can't talk to. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna just say it, parents, you can't talk to them, because some parents, the reason why I can't talk to my mom is because, like, I love her to death. I do. And I do find myself sometimes going in my little spells, or whatever you want to call them. But the one thing for her is she likes to manipulate her own mindset. And I start to realize that, like, I do that to myself too. And it's like, nah, dog, I'm not doing that junk. I'm not. Y'all don't understand. Like, I have stories. Like, I have truly stories. Like, one time, it only takes one time, unless I really like it, and I can deal with it on my conscience, and on my soul, and on my heart, and on my emotions, and on my mentality. But when I can't, I'm not putting it in any of those situations, any of those categories I just named you. I'm not putting it nowhere near. I'm not doing it. So that way, I won't have to create the blame shame game, because I'm not doing it. I'm not being blamed or blaming anybody. I will not be shamed or shaming anybody. I'm not doing it. I'm not being part of that game. I'll play tic-tac-toe all day. Tit for tat, toe for toe. I'll do that all day. But when I'm not rock, paper, scissors, I'll do rock, paper, scissors. But I'm not doing no blame, shame game. No, I'm not. I'm not. It's cringy. It's annoying. You gonna see your kids doing it, and then you gonna get upset and be like, who raised you? You be like, you. Like, who else? Hello, Peekaboo, do you see you? That's you, boo-boo. Like, let's be more realistic. I really had to think about it, because, like, even with, it can rub off into your siblings. It can rub off on anybody. Whatever blame, shame games that you play, it can rub off on people. And I know that's that junk. And I'm just like, nah, dog. I'm not doing it. I even had to, like, switch up my whole conversation, my input on things. Like, now, instead of me talking right off the rip when I hear people's situations, it's now going to take me longer to process it. Well, not process it. It's going to take me longer to acknowledge you now. Because at the end of the day, you truly want guidance. It's not like you want an opinion or anything like that. So for me, it's like, the best thing for me to do is guide my words and my energy towards the right plug. You get what I'm saying? Input, output, whatever, however our energy connections work. I may be the input this time or the output. Either or. But with the output, actually, because you're asking me for advice and I'm giving it, so I'm out. So, yeah. So, I could be that part or whatnot. Oh, well, either or input too, because, yeah, I got too deep into it. But, anyways, you can get it. But, wrap it around your fingers. Let's go. Let's keep winding it up. But, anyways, like I'm saying, the input, the output, whatever. But for now on, I'm going to take a step back and breathe, listen. But also, I'd rather for you to play it out, but play it out calmly and absorb what's going on. Because for those of us who are like extreme dramatic, those are the ones, the extremely emotional or extremely sensitive people or whatever the case may be. Those are the ones who seems to be in the blame of shame games all the time. Which means, once again, you're either out here blaming or causing blame upon yourself, shaming or causing shame upon yourself, however it is, you're out here doing it. And you're allowing it because you haven't seen it yet. That's why you keep tripping. You get my drift? That's why we just have to step back, breathe. Every time you're stepping back, you need to breathe. Don't focus on tears. Don't focus on the emotion. Just breathe and step back. The farther you step back, the farther you notice the picture is getting very, very far, to the point where it's at the end and it disappears and it's a dark space and it's like, wow, it wasn't that deep. Because it disappeared. It went out of view. Really wasn't that deep in your vision, so why are you taking it that deep? That's what I had to realize. Like, if it's not in my visions, my deep visions, why am I taking it so deeply? Because it doesn't connect. It is not going to stick. Sometimes you can forget that you were blamed for something, or you blame somebody else for something. Live your life, and then it can be brought back and smacked in your face. And then now you done caused shame upon yourself because you done said something or done something that could have actually ended something, or whatever the case may be, or hurt, whatever, or you did it. And now you have to live with the shame, or you don't. In reality, you don't have to live with any shame or blame. Because to be honest, life is a lesson. Life is a lesson. It's a field where everything goes. Like, life is a lesson. Like, let's just be... It's for you to figure it out. It's your environment. It's your energy. It's for you to figure this out. You're the flower that has to grow. What works best for you? Does the rain blow into the east help you grow more? Or does the rain blow into the west help you grow more? South, north, southeast, southwest, what is it? But it's on you to figure that out. Just like with this blaming and shaming people, it's on you to step back, especially when you're giving advice, to step back and listen to the person, truly listen to the person, and see what is it that they want to do, not what you feel like they should do. They want to do, because sometimes what you feel like what you feel like somebody can do can bring blame to you and cause shame upon yourself too. Look at it from all corners. Look at it from all aspects. Look at it from all views. It plays a big part. And the point is this. My point for myself is this. Let me say it like that. My point for myself is this. For now on, Deandra, we will not give structured criticism, opinions, or advice. What we will do is this. We will dilute the criticism and the structure in our own opinion. We will dilute it, plenty of water, and just let it marinate. That's all we can do. Either the water will take the flavor or it won't. It's upon you. I mean, we've all gotten something and you try to mix it up with the water and it doesn't mix this time. It wasn't made right. It wasn't made for you. So you always got to take it and just be like, you know what? It wasn't made for me. So at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you and what helps you out. Not what helps the next person out or what could help the next person out. Think about you. Because, baby, that blame shaming game is totally, like, mind-boggling. Especially when you know that your intentions were not that bad. Your intentions could be the purest intentions ever. But somebody can take your pure intentions and turn it manipulative against you. And it's like, wait a minute, what? In the word of Anthony, what? Like, what? What is going on here? Like, for real, like, what just happened? Because I really, like I said, this weekend, I just found myself like, did that really just get thrown back at me? But it really didn't stick. But did they just really try to throw that at me and think that was going to mess my... Nah, I got to back up. And that's another thing. When it comes to blaming and shaming, you start to realize you push a lot of people away. You really, truly do. Because other people start to see and they're like, nah, I'm going to back off. You got to realize that part too. So the blame, shame game, I don't like that game. And maybe, hey, you're raised around it. Because I started to realize it's around me. But also, it won't be attaining me no longer. Because I'm over it. Blame shame game is not for me. Like I said, it ain't me. But I really wanted to get that out. Because a lot of times we do find ourselves in that game and don't realize it. And you really, really should watch out what you say, what you do, who you say it to, who you're saying it around, who you're allowing around it, or whatever. And also this, when it comes to allowing people to shame you, don't do it. Do not do it. Go ahead and either stand up for yourself or nip it in the bud. Because standing up and nipping in the bud is two different things. Nip it in the bud or set boundaries. How about that? That sounds better. Set boundaries. You can either set boundaries with the person or just nip it in the bud. Call it quits. You no longer want to say anything. Because there's one vocabulary everybody likes to do when it comes to the blame shame game. There's one part to that game. And the most dangerous thing you can do is compare anything to yourself. And that's where the blaming and the shaming starts to come in at. Well, you told me this happened, and well, you should feel ashamed of yourself for allowing that to happen in your own relationship, or your own household, or in your own environment, in your own business, in your own studies. You get what I'm saying? When you hear things like that, that's when you know you need to back off. So no longer are we playing this blame shame game. That's a dirty little game to play. But you guys, this will be posted on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook. My Facebook group is Queenify with Nerdy Dreams. Instagram is Queenify. I mean QWND_DD. Twitter is Queenify, capital N, capital WND. And you can listen to all my podcasts is on there. And of course, this won't be the last because I do have another one to post. It's nothing related to this conversation, but it's a whole different conversation. I just wanted to have that conversation because it's funny. There's a lot of human traits that we have out here that's funny, but we also do know that we condone in it, or we have condoned in it. But it's hilarious because we see it around us. Or it's even hilarious when you find out that a trait that you don't like, that you actually portray, it's like, yeah, it's time to finish that. So this is the podcast where we learn human traits that we either like or we dislike. And we just want to nip it in the butt or learn from it. Well, either way it goes, we're learning from all of these human traits. So it's either you nip it in the butt or let it nip you in the butt. Either way it goes. But you guys have a good night, good morning, whatever the case may be. And remember, your energy is for you, how you use it, who you let around you, who you let absorb it. But remember, it's on you to determine how you use that energy. Peace and love. Y'all have a good one.